Sunday marked the culmination of 10 days of memorials, remembrances and celebrations since the death of Nelson Mandela was announced. Over the past few days, I've heard many stories. People have all their stories about Nelson Mandela, their Mandela moment, if you like. Here's a few of them.
This is a special day for us. We not only have people from all over sharing this moment with us, it's a very special day, and we feel that Nelson Mandela has proven a very good future for South Africans and all over the world.
Madiba, where do I begin to speak about him? The father of the nation. He is a son, he is a father. We are so proud of him. We are who we are today because of him.
Mandela means a lot to us. He is a great man. We are here just because of him. We are proud of him, we claim him, and we are proud of him, really.
I can't even say what Madiba means to us, but he was our leader, our great president. We can't have someone like him. Viva Madiba, viva.
He's my grandfather, he's my father, he's my icon. I love him so much. I want to say, Dalibunga, rest in peace. We will always loving you.
All odds was against him. When he went out of prison, he still embraced love. Though some people would have wanted to fight back to what was being done to them. Mandela is like our legend. He's like our father. He gave us everything that we have today.
He meant everything because he gave us freedom.
The sentiments of just a few South Africans there, Mike. Everybody has their Madiba moment, and were telling us about how they will remember this icon of the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa.
And Anand, you have moments as well, moments when he was living, when you had the opportunity to meet with him, and then obviously you must carry some moments back with you here to the States when you return. What are some of the things that stand out from this last week of being there in South Africa?
Well, I just look at today, Mike, today's Sunday. It was a very somber, sad day in South Africa. It was the final goodbye for Nelson Mandela. But at the same time, one senses a mood of optimism in this country, a mood of renewal. And many people that I've talked to say this could be a turning point. South Africa has many problems at the moment. It is mired in economic problems. There's a very high unemployment rate. All that investment that South Africa thought would be coming its way in the last few years has not been coming. So there are many problems to overcome. There are problems that the ANC is having at the moment as well. Its leader, Jacob Zuma, is having problems as well. But one senses that there is a mood of optimism, there is this mood of renewal, and that at some stage this could mark a turning point in South Africa, could fix all those problems that it faces right now. It's very easy to forget that it was only 20 years ago, or just about 20 years ago, that apartheid existed in this country, where it was such a system that kept people apart. For example, people could not get married across the color line while that system was in place. Well, thanks to Nelson Mandela and his legacy, there are now thousands of mixed-race couples across South Africa. We were fortunate to meet one couple. Naidoo was a former minister in Nelson Mandela's first government in the aftermath of that 1994 election. He married Lucie Page, a Canadian journalist. He was a young, fiery trade union leader, classified non-white by the apartheid government. She was a vivacious white Canadian journalist who'd come to South Africa to cover the apartheid struggle.
I wanted an interview. I came here when Madiba was released from prison. I came to do 10 television documentaries, and I had to interview the General Secretary of COSATU because I was doing a documentary on the role of the trade unions in the liberation of the country. And that day, 27th of October 1990, the Soweto Stadium was full, toy-toying, dancing, and there was speeches after speeches because it was also the launch of the ANC Youth League. And then people were, and then this guy comes on the stage and the whole stadium shuts up. So I look at my researcher, I said, I want this guy in my documentary. And that same night I was doing a story on jazz, the history of jazz in South Africa. And there walks this guy and I look at him and I want an interview. I said, if you want to talk to me, I don't want to talk politics. So we talked of our mothers like for hours, had drinks together.
When Naidoo met and fell in love with Lucie Page, they were in effect breaking the law.
when I moved back in '91, the estate agent had to go have because the Group Areas Act was still, the estate agent had to go have the neighbors sign the paper, do you mind having a non-white as a neighbor? So it was difficult. I wasn't allowed to live where he and I was, you know, but if we go back a little bit further, I could have spent 7 years in jail.
It was always dangerous for me. I was like public enemy number one, you know. I was leader of, General Secretary of COSATU, you know. I used to stop the country and be the face of those massive demonstrations. So I was hated by the majority of white people, and particularly those in the security forces. So I was on many death lists, you know.
Jay and Lucie had a close personal relationship with Nelson Mandela. He was one of the guest speakers at their wedding.
Madiba arrives. He's dressed in a T-shirt.
Yeah, with tennis shoes and whatever. Oh, I thought he was a trade unionist, you know, that you didn't have to dress up. And he makes this big joke about it.
He makes this big joke and everyone loves him for it, but he genuinely believed that he would never see me in a suit. So this is Mandela, but he can take that moment and make fun of it and of himself particularly, and we all would laugh with him.
Jay and Lucie today have 3 grown children with whom they share their beautiful home in the suburbs of Johannesburg, thanks to the lasting legacy left to them by Nelson Mandela.